Sora 2 has just hit the scene and it's really taken off. It's not even just a new feature. In some ways, I even think VO3 is better. Yet ChatGPT has done some things to make this model unique, to make it fun, and to make it the top rated app on Apple's App Store right now. So we're going to be getting into that and what it means for marketers in this episode. So welcome back to the AI Driven Marketer. This is the Bot Bros segment where we talk about the helpful things going on in AI for marketers. I'm Dan Sanchez and I'm joined by my brother, Travis Sanchez.
Hello from Breckenridge.
Shooting outside today. I kind of wish I could be outside today, but I always get back into the studio because outside's noisy, but it seems to be quiet where you are.
It is quiet here.
Well done. Okay. Probably quieter outside than inside because it's cold where you are.
Yeah, 38 degrees outside. But you know what? Anything for the pod.
Anything for the pod. So, Sora 2. It just launched Tuesday. And there was actually a lot of AI news this week, but Sora 2 kind of sucked up everything. So we'll talk a little bit about the other updates. We might even get into it deeper in future episodes when there's less. But Sora 2 took everything. So like I said, it's currently number 1 in the Apple App Store. It is become more, it's much more than a video model. I think ChatGPT has gotten better at figuring out how to steal all the hype and all the news whenever they release things. They are masters at marketing, much better than Google is, and they're using it to Google's detriment because Google's been gaining ground. Google's owned the video spot ever since they launched VO3. Google's been the clear leader in video, the first one to launch sound and talking, lip sync, all that kind of stuff with VO3. And they've even made it so it's like available to even people for free, which is pretty awesome. But then ChatGPT did have a card up their sleeve with Sora 2. So have you seen any of the videos, Trav, people have been making with Sora 2?
Yes. And when I showed my video guy, he was in disbelief that it was also doing the audio, that it was actually doing sound. And you would think, oh, your video guy isn't actually using AI to create things. He's fairly new, so he hasn't dabbled much in AI video creation. But when he saw the examples of what Sora 2 is producing, their minds were blown by the audio engineering created, because that people you can have low quality video and get by, but if your sound quality sounds janky, doesn't match, there's wind noise, you lose interest very quickly. And Sora hit it on the money. I would even say now you can't even tell by the sound that it's not real. It's more like tiny percentages of the video,
tiny details
that you're kind of like, well, but even so, it's fantastic.
Sam Altman, before they kicked it off, put out a little preview video of him talking into a megaphone, like at a movie set. And he's like, hey, lights, camera, action, as kind of like a little tease of what was coming. And all of us knew, like, it looked so real. I mean, it's AI, but at the same time, it had us kind of doubting.
Correct.
Because it looks so much like him and even had his voice in it. Now, of course, they probably rendered like 50 of these or more, and probably they're at their best model because I think they're toning it down right now for compute sake.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I don't think we have the full spec of what it's capable of.
Not to interrupt you, but isn't that interesting that they're like, they have all the power to market their product and then dial it back down because they know they can't give that to everybody? Man,
yeah.
That's
it's rumored that they're going to release it to the pro users soon. They have a slightly beefier one they're going to give to pro users, but right now it's available.
It's not Sora 2. It's like Sora 0.8 or Sora 0.7, what you can use.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely Sora 2 because its capabilities. But when they released that little teaser, I was like, oh my gosh, here's Sora 2. This is with a rumor of what they were going to be releasing soon. And apparently it can do people in it. And that's the big thing of Sora 2. It's the first video model other than like HeyGen, which HeyGen was always like talking head, but limited motion, and trying to get it to train it like you was always kind of a pain.
And it looks terrible. And it takes about two seconds for a real human to go, that's not
how a person works. They're like very monotone and kind of moving around. And it's like,
and stiff-headed.
Yeah. But this one's like not limited to that at all. I mean, all of a sudden the whole trailer video was them like Sam Altman like running around and all the different people who had worked on the model flying on dragons and all kinds of things. And you could still tell it's AI video, but it's like at a whole new level. And some of the ones that are in more realistic scenes, you couldn't quite tell it was AI anymore.
Correct. If the
They fixed
motion
some of the
wasn't too
problems with
intense.
gymnasts and physics too.
Yeah. The ice skating with the cat on the head, it was pretty good. Until the
Yeah.
cat fell off, and then it kind of looked funny, but up into that point.
And I remember a day or two later, I was scrolling through X and I saw the first thing that appeared was an AI video. I'm like, yeah, that's an AI video. And I'm like, I wonder if as I was thinking this thought, I wonder if I have the ability to tell what's AI and what's not. Another video scrolls into my feed of some dude throwing a log from a bridge into the water. I was like, see, I'm like looking at it, carefully analyzing. It's literally the next video in the feed as I'm thinking this. And I'm like, yeah, this one looks real. It's just some dude, like many dudes before him, who are throwing a stick in the water from a really high bridge. But as the stick hits the water in the bottom, even the way the guy's acting looks real. But the stick hits the bottom and some like huge wave emerges and some cat pops up and fills the whole
Oh my
canyon
gosh.
and starts dancing. You're like, frick, I guess I cannot tell anymore because if that weird thing had not happened, I would have assumed it was real. 100% had me. And I'm like, nope, that answers that question. It was fresh in my mind. I'm like, the days of, I mean, many of them are obviously fake, right? You
Yeah,
can
right.
tell just from the subject. But now the line is so blurred that even people who are good at watching for AI,
Right.
it's gonna there people are gonna just gonna get good at cherry picking and finding the ones that kind of sneak past the filter of this, is this AI or not. And I think undiscerning people are now going to like doubt everything. Or sorry, undiscerning people are going to get tricked a lot. It's going to be a
Right.
problem.
I wonder what's going to be the main thing. I mean, I know a lot of platforms, if you're posting video to that platform, they ask you to admit whether it's AI. There's like a clause where they want you to check if there has been any inclusion of artificial video. So there might be just a little watermark or stamp that says, AI was used to create this. But of course, that won't happen all the time. So,
VO watermarks it. Sora hard like has a hard watermark on it where it's like popping Sora up all over the different parts of the video, so you can't filter it out.
wait, even if you're a pro model and you want to get a video clip, they're still watermarking it like that?
Yeah, I don't know how to get it without it. Now, there's probably some ways. In fact, I'm sure the smart people can just rip it off of Sora, but if you download it, it has the watermark.
And it
I'm
bounces
sure
around
people
the
can figure
image?
out how to rip it from the website is probably what's going to happen.
I'm utterly confused. If they're making people pay $200 a month for this program, and then
You don't
you
need the $200 a month to use it. I even think it's available for free.
really,
I'm just a plus user and I have access to it. I got
but
an early
but it
invite.
throws a watermark on there, like not just a little watermark in the corner that sits. It's like a disruptive watermark, is what you're saying.
It's not disruptive, but it's hard. You definitely see it. It's small, it's kind of transparent, but it bounces around the screen in different places to make it so you can't just like mask it in one spot or cover it up with something.
Do you not have more opinions about that? That seems really
It makes it
wild to
hard
me.
to use for marketing reasons.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Like,
So I think because of that, you can still use it for content on social. That's fine. But like for all other reasons, it's not usable. Now in the pro model, they'll probably release something for that. In the meantime, you could do what hackers do and just like like figure out alternative ways of extracting it from the website. You don't have to be a hacker to do that. I'm sure if you just ChatGPT probably tell you how to do that. Make a script for you to do it. It's not that hard. We all have done it and people do it all the time. Uh The thing that was interesting, though, that marketers should be aware of is they didn't just release this as a video model alone. It is a whole social platform, Sora 2 is.
right. The
They
next
released it
TikTok
as an
is what they
independent
said.
app, and it's just like TikTok, but you can't upload videos. You can only make AI generated videos. And they made it so you can capture your own likeness. You don't just take a picture of your face. You like roll your head around so it knows what you look like. It captures your voice and you say some key phrases. And then you can either let people, you can say no one can use my likeness except for me, only me and my friends, only me and this group of people, or the whole public internet can use my likeness, which is kind of cool. I like that they've added some protections there.
Wow.
I've been the kind of person that's like, I'm not going to do AI generated video of myself. But honestly, once you start playing with it, you're like, this is kind of, for marketing sake, I don't know, but it was fun to put me and then send me doing something stupid and then sending it to my friends, like as a text message, and we're all laughing. You know, that's happening a lot right now. And I think they engineered it specifically for fun so that they would stay on top, stay ahead of Google. In a lot of ways, I think this is not as actually as powerful as VO3. I started
Are
running.
they sending it in the app or are they sending it as a text message?
You can send it to people in the app, but all my friends aren't in the app yet. One is,
Right.
uh, or a couple are. But I just downloaded it and sent it to them, even though it has the watermark on it. No one really cares. So you just text them the video, kind of like how you used to download TikTok videos and then text it.
Yes. Right. Right.
You just send the
Wow.
link from wherever you.
All right. I'll have to give it a go.
I made a video of myself just sitting there in the chair, and I'm like, the prompt was like, "Hey, have a moment where the video model realizes that this isn't the real Dan Sanchez is having a breakdown in front of the camera." And then it did. It had something. Didn't quite look like me. It was like the ChatGPT version of me, where it's like kind of off me. You know how ChatGPT always screws that up in the image? It's still that, but it looked kind of like me. And it has this guy sitting there being like, "Hey, I got to get this off my chest, but I'm actually not the real Dan Sanchez. I know it says that everywhere, but I'm just a guy they just threw in the chair and they just started recording. I don't know what to do." You know? And it's kind of funny because it scripted that whole thing. I didn't tell it that. And that's the one thing that it does better. Not only is it better at capturing likeness, but it's actually better at like you just giving it a generic prompt and it coming up with something interesting. Kind of like ChatGPT image generator. ChatGPT is just better at dealing with vague things and popping out something interesting versus all the other models. You have to kind of know what you want.
Right. Wow. I'll have to mess with it and see what it can produce. I didn't even download it because I thought it was only for pro users.
No,
But then what you just said, its likeness to you wasn't as accurate as what we saw with Sam Altman in the trailer.
that's how you know Sam Altman was cherry picked. I've seen many, many, many videos because he released his whole persona open to the internet to do whatever they want, and I've literally seen like hundreds of Sam Altman things in him, like peeking through windows. Shoot, I saw him in a Skibbity toilet, you know, singing a little Skibbity
Right.
song. You're
Yeah,
like,
it looks
okay,
like him. So
they're throwing him everywhere. Great marketing for him. Great choice.
yeah, it's like Shia LaBeouf when he was behind a green screen and he was
Uh-huh.
like, "Just do it!" Yeah, and he
Yeah.
just went absolutely viral for that.
So good marketing there. It's not. I'm trying to figure out how to use it, but I think the thing that marketers need to know is Sora is now essentially a social media app just for AI. That is a new channel that
Dude,
marketers now need to start thinking about
right.
or could think about and making content. And I'm like, wait, I might be able to sell my stuff here. Could, if there's a lot of attention, if attention stays on it, that could be a new channel. I'm trying to figure out how to even put out content, but since you only have 10-second clips, it's hard to make educational content in 10 seconds. You can make entertaining content in 10 seconds, but how do you make educational content? That's what I'm currently trying to figure out. I'm like, how do I educate people? How do I start growing something here? Because, you know, early social networks always have an advantage. So I'm trying to figure out how to make content there that's more than just Pikachu in movies, which is kind of the trend right now.
I was looking at, I think I was on Midjourney, kind of looking at the videos that had been created on there from different users. And the stuff is really cool, but part of me looked at it and just went, but when you see images like this or videos like this, but it actually is real life videos, there's a little bit more awe-inspiring. I don't know, there, because it's natural and because it's real, it creates a different feeling than when it's just fake. And I wonder, I think for our generation that grew up in the reality world, we will always have that feeling, but the next generation, Gen Alpha, won't have the nostalgic connection with real life. I'm just wondering what this looks like for the future
For
generations.
many, unfortunately,
Yeah.
probably
Anyways, random
not
thought.
for my kids. Probably not for your kids, but for
No.
many kids out there who grew up in front of a TV screen or a VR screen or a iPhone screen. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure this out. I think the cool thing about Sora and these video models is now every marketer is essentially a director. And we all have the ability to come up with crazy videos, and it's going to get better. Right now there's no video editing app, so you can't stitch these together in really crazy ways quite yet, but I imagine it'll come around soon. And you can have yourself in there, you can have your friends in there, you can put your
Like
product in there,
in
you can do
terms
all
of
kinds of crazy stuff.
continuity from scene to scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do that yet. It'll make cuts for you if you tell it to within the 10-second video, but you only have 10 seconds, which means you got to deliver the whole thing in 10 seconds. Obviously, somehow there's a way to download it because I've seen some people stitching them into other things. I saw somebody's like, I made a 3-minute Pixar short. It's awesome. And I watched it. It was boring, horrible. I'm like, there's like the plot's stupid. The only thing that looks good is I'm like, okay, all the animation looks good. The character is fairly consistent. But I'm like, but the storytelling in it sucked 100%. So I'm like, okay, it's now going to rest on how well you can tell the story. Now, ChatGPT is actually decent at actually coming up with the story within a 10-second clip by itself. It's actually funny. It can come up with funny things without even trying. So that's kind of interesting. I'm wondering if you can give it longer and have it make more cuts. Like eventually we'll, again, like we talked about this a week or so ago, like you'll just be able to put a prompt in there, like make me a whole movie about a rabbit trying to become a ballet dancer or something. I don't know. And it'll give it to you.
It's like those reels we've seen of people using AI, but they're so dumb. They're using like single words, movie, emotional, cry. You would like me to make you an emotional movie that brings you to tears at certain spots? And they're like tapping the keyboard.
Bro, it's coming. I literally listened to a news podcast this morning that we are going backwards as society because the whole country is becoming more and more illiterate. Even Congress, their like vocabulary is going down farther and farther. The amount of like even just normal 100 greatest novels, like even Congress has read less and less of them. I'm like, oh gosh, dude, that's like, even though that was a joke, it's like this scary reality. Don't stop reading. Teach your kids to read. Oh well.
Yeah. Woof.
So for marketers right now who are looking into Sora, play with it, try it out. There's a lot of people calling out this content as AI slop. That's become a normal term that I'm seeing on LinkedIn all the time. I will say it's not fair because if you remember the early days of the internet, like I remember surfing through funnyjunk.com and eBomb's world and it was all freaking slop.
Oh man.
It was all horrible. You got Neon Cat, you got Badger Song. You know what I'm saying? Like that was all slop too. It was handmade slop. There wasn't a lot of it. It still went viral. People still liked it. This new AI slop, there's a lot more of it, true, but people still like it. And some of it's actually really funny. I'm not going to lie. Like there are many things I saw on the Sora app that I like. It made me smile. It even made me laugh out loud. It was really good.
So funny. How was anything inappropriate? I mean, were people pushing the line in censorship videos, or was it pretty safe?
There legally, yes. Like on the innuendo scale, no. Like it's pretty like I didn't see anything on there that I was like, oh, I wouldn't want my kids to see this.
Okay.
Which means it's really strong as far as like filtering stuff up, unlike Grok, But obviously they didn't put any trademark protections in there. They pretty much just opened it up to the world. And they made a public announcement to all companies like, we're not going to filter any of this until you tell us not to. So people went wild with Nintendo characters specifically. Pikachu was on display and acting in many movies. It's hilarious to see Pikachu as Godfather. But
Nintendo is notorious for trademark stuff. Like they go after you.
I tried to render a Pikachu video. It told me not to. I was like, Nintendo was fast on that one. Literally within 2 days, they're like, sorry, we can't do this. I'm like, that means Nintendo reached out to them right away about Pikachu.
Wow.
So eventually the whole making celebrities and all the different stuff out there, all the different characters and Disney stuff will go away. as companies proactively tell Sora to stop. So that was a short-lived thing. Pretty soon it'll just be regular people on there more. But I think it'll be fine because it's all pop culture and silly things right now.
Right. Dang.
All right. In other news, because Sora was the big thing, but the other news, OpenAI also launched something new in ChatGPT. That's a kind of a big deal for all e-commerce marketers. We don't talk about e-commerce a lot. I tend to be more in the lead gen space in marketing, and use a lot of those processes myself. Content marketing, education, all that kind of stuff. It's really relevant for a lot of businesses, but e-commerce runs differently, and ChatGPT now allows you to buy things straight in ChatGPT. Like you don't have to leave ChatGPT, and they opened it up to all Shopify stores and Etsy, two big providers. Shopify is a big deal because that's like, I don't know how much Shopify has, probably like the largest share of e-commerce outside of Amazon and Walmart and like the big providers of all the independent e-commerce stores. I think Shopify probably has the majority of the market. I imagine they'll add more. Like if they get Amazon in there and then like Stripe, that'll just be most of the market. If they have a Stripe integration where anybody powered by Stripe can go in there somehow, or WooCommerce, and if just a few more, all of a sudden you'll be able to buy like 80% of things that are available on the internet and you'll be good. So that's a big deal for e-commerce. It also kind of changes the way e-commerce approaches all of their marketing, because now you really have to be thinking about two things: AI optimization, what we're calling AIO or AEO or GEO. There's like a million acronyms for this right now, but getting recommended by AI. So that's essentially SEO plus AI. So that's going to become a bigger deal. And then branding, like making it so when people ask for something, they specifically ask for the branded thing. That will be a bigger deal. All the middle stuff will get cut out. It's going to be bottom of the funnel optimization, branding optimization on the top. You used to be able to play the whole middle. That's dying now.
Wow. I have heard Amazon is rolling out AI to help each individual like store owner to organize and categorize their items on Amazon. I wonder if that will help with, I don't know, the whatever you said, the AI
AEO,
optimization,
AIO,
AEO, AEIOU. Yeah. Bingo. What's his name? Is that where we're going?
Yeah, that one.
Got it.
Yeah, Amazon took a massive stake in an Anthropic, Claude, which is a major player in the AI space. I think the AI race is going to boil down to OpenAI versus Google, and I think Claude will eventually get gobbled up by somebody. Right now, Amazon has the biggest stake in Claude. But some people are like, man, if Apple would just buy Claude, it would fix a lot of their problems. So we'll see. Then that's actually the third piece of news we have, is that Claude 4.5, which is a big model release for Anthropic. So Claude 4.5 Sonnet's like their middle version. They're one of them. A lot of people use it for code all the time. They just released it. It's probably the top coding app. I haven't seen the benchmarks yet, but it's probably like now again the best coding app. They just go in circles, like, oh, now we're the best app. Oh, now we're the best app. Now we're the best app, and it's just like,
do you know what
they launched this a day before Sora came out, and OpenAI is like, nope, sucked it all out. Nobody's talking about Claude 4.5.
Do they ever mention percentages of how much better their coding is? Like, oh, we've increased our coding by, I know usually they do, there is a metric test, from reasoning to.
There's many tests. They're running out of tests now because they get better and better at fulfilling the tests. So they keep having to come up with harder tests.
Wow.
But yeah, now I just kind of like, how many developers prefer one over the other? It's kind of like I'm like just listening for the word on the street from my friends who develop. Obviously, Claude is also good at writing. So all my friends who are like, artisanal copywriters and really care about the craft generally refer to Claude as better than ChatGPT. I'm like, I can't tell. I don't care enough about it to know.
Sure.
But Claude is pretty good. It's certainly better at data and numbers. If you give it an Excel sheet, I have much more confidence that Claude's going to interpret those numbers correctly than ChatGPT. And it's good at code. So their new 4.5 model came out. The news was big on Monday and then immediately died as soon as Sora came out. So
it's
Sorry, Anthropic. ChatGPT got you. It gets everybody though, so it is what it is. Moving on to today's sponsor is, of course, High Level. And I'm going to ask, if you're an agency or you are a consultant and you work with CRMs or marketing automation, like how are you not on High Level? I don't think people understand that you can have unlimited instances in there, and you can copy campaigns between your clients' account. So if you have an awesome killer campaign or a funnel or some kind of thing that you got going on in one campaign, you can just be like copy paste in your other client's account. You can set up a whole template account. I have a couple. In fact, you can get my AI campaigns for free by signing up for High Level. Even if you don't want to, you just want to see what they look like and evaluate them and look at them for 30 days for free. You can go and check it out at, I think it's, where did I put this website? It's, you can check out High Level at danchez.com/high level. But if you go to AI Automation Vault, that's what it is, AIautomationvault.com, you could see some of the AI campaigns I've made in High Level and check it out for yourself. Again, I made a whole snapshot, they call them, which is like a copy of like my AI campaigns. You can load into your account and start playing. So High Level, check it out. Let's moving on to everyday AI. Trav, what do you got for me today?
Bro, I got a
How have you
good
been
one.
using AI?
I got a good one today, and I am not going to do it. Okay, I'm not going to do it. I did it,
Make me
but
nervous.
I'm not going to. Okay, here's what I did. My 8-year-old's in soccer, right? Program. They're like, it's photo day, so you get a picture with him holding a ball. He's got a medal on, his jersey. But, you know, of course, you know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make a buck. They send it over a digital file for you to review the photos. And of course, they have these watermarks covering the photo, so they're not actually usable. They're like these color wheels that have every color on them, but there's a bunch of them. It just makes the photo look terrible. And I was like, I bet I could screenshot this photo, put it into ChatGPT, and say, just remove all the watermarks and make the photo perfect. So I don't have to spend, you know, 80 or 50 or $100 for their package of photos, which is just digital, by the way. They're not giving you printed. It's $80 to get the digital version of these photos. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can do this. And sure enough, I took the photo, put it in a ChatGPT, removed all watermarks, and I'm like, is this stealing?
Yeah. People, I've actually seen people talk about this.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Like I remember when Google's image effects start getting good enough last March, people were talking about, or no, it was when ChatGPT dropped its new image generator. When this first dropped, this was one of the first use cases people came up with, is to remove watermarks from things like this or from stock photos. You like a stock
Oh,
photo,
yeah.
you're like, ChatGPT, recreate this, make it bigger and remove the watermark. Bam, done.
Uh-huh.
And that was controversial for a hot minute.
So I did it. I haven't downloaded the photo, but I like want the photos because, you know, it's my 8-year-old son and soccer thing. Anyways, that's one of mine.
So you owe somebody $80.
Yeah.
Use it for good, people.
Use it for good.
One of the things I did, even just this morning, I actually do this often, but you have to be careful in doing this, is sometimes I'll find a Bible verse and I'll be like, can you explain like contextually, how would this have hit differently back then?
Okay.
Because the
Yeah.
Bible was written thousands of years ago. So you're like, okay, I'm looking at a proverb and it's like a well recognized proverb. It makes sense today, but I'm like, yeah, but how would this have hit? What other things in scripture would be coming to their minds as they would have read this? And it was like something around like love and faithfulness. You know, you want to bind it around your neck and write it write it on your heart, like you're committing it to stone. And it was like giving me just context, like, well, yeah, in that day, it's like you would put jewelry around your neck to be visible, for other people to see. To bind it around your
Wow.
neck means it's always visible. Like you always, like, people should know this about you. Like you should, love and faithfulness should be something you're known for. Also, to write things on a tablet of your heart. Well, it's like, well, Moses wrote the 10 Commandments on the tablet, and it's almost like permanent. You're writing on tablet; it's a permanent thing. To write that on your heart means it's permanently inside. So it's like an exterior thing that people can see, and an interior thing that's always true of you on the inside. I was like, frick, that was a great breakdown, ChatGPT,
Wow.
of a single proverb from this
I
morning.
did the same thing with a verse. Everyone's heard it, that like the oh my gosh, a rich man can't enter heaven just like a camel can't go through the eye of a needle. Well, I'm like, chat, what's with the camel and the eye of the needle thing? Because I've heard, the eye of the needle was this route for traders to
I
go
know.
through in the desert, and the
Yeah.
camel can't fit with all the riches.
Yeah.
Oh no, the eye of the needle is
Literal needle.
no, it's an archery hole on the top of the wall.
Yeah.
And so that was the eye of the needle. Camel can't go through there. And then it was like, well, technically the word for camel in Hebrew is gamal or gamal, which is also rope. So he probably was talking about sewing needle, and he probably was talking about a rope, like a big, large rope can't go through the eye of a needle. But people confused it with camel. So the camel translation in the Bible potentially is not right. And I'm like, oh my gosh. it's a misinterpretation. Anyways, so that was something I discovered from using.
Sounds like you got more confused.
Yeah, it was like, well, awesome. Something else that I used it for was I just had it write a script for me for the product that's heating me up right now down here, which is a gas fire pit. And I just needed to take all of the information and examples they gave me. I'm like, all right, take the best of this, write me a script. That was helpful.
Again, I'm on a health phase right now where I'm using ChatGPT to guide me through fitness.
Okay.
And one of the things I was like, you get those scales where you can weigh yourself, and they have the little electrical things to measure your body fat percentage.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Chad about it, and it was like, yeah, those aren't accurate. So do this one instead. And it was like the Navy formula. And it told me which measurements to take. You're like, yeah, you just measure your neck, measure your waist. Let me know what your measurements are. And like, you're
okay, but they have special tools that like pinch, and then it tells you a measurement, right? So how did
you just wrap a cord around your neck and then measure the length of the cord.
Whoa!
Yeah, this is something they do in the Navy. Anyway, it's like the easiest thing that's more accurate that you can do.
You missed my joke.
I don't know what you thought I was saying, but it wasn't that. Oh, I get it now. Yeah, no.
Whoa.
Yeah, you wrap a string. Let me rephrase it. You wrap a string around your neck to measure the circumference of it, and you do it with your waist, and then there's a math equation you do based on your height, and then it gives you your body fat percentage. Oh, okay. But ChatGPT walked me through it. I gave you the calculations and then calculate it, and then I knew. I was like, oh, okay, that's where we're at. And now it's a good benchmark.
Fairly inaccurate from the scale?
Yes. And I knew the scale wasn't accurate because the scale is just kind of doing math between like weight and height. But I'm like, I know that I'm not that. So
right.
It's less than that.
What was it saying? You were like 24% or something?
I was saying I was like 26%. I'm like, I'm not 26%.
Wow.
Maybe it's just vanity. I'm like, no, the Navy test puts me at 20%. That's better.
What's it called? It's like a seamstress ruler, or it's the bendable ruler that they measure. Seamstress thing, right? Is that what you used? Oh, I guess you just used a string and then you measured it on a tape measure.
Yeah. I had paracord, so I just used that.
Yeah, got it.
It's called the U.S. Navy body fat formula, apparently. So,
all right.
ChatGPT told me about it. I ran through it. It did the math. It put me at where I kind of expected more to be, but now I know, and now I can continue using that moving forward. So that was the way I used AI this week. Moving on to the week's poll, I asked people because of all the hype around Sora. I'm like, do you plan on using AI video in your marketing in 2026? And this was the breakdown. 47% said absolutely. 21% said probably. 14% said not likely. And 17% said no. And this is out of 70 votes. Not a lot of votes for a poll.
The romantics.
Yeah, the romantic people are like, no. I mean, I wasn't super surprised that most said absolutely. Again, I got a lot of people follow me because I'm talking about AI marketing, so it makes sense. But I think if you're not thinking about this, you really need to start thinking about this. Like, it's finally coming into a point where it's like this needs to be this is going. There's going to be breakthroughs here. People are going to come up with new trends, and like just like we've already seen many trends, like the whole like cutting glass ASMR thing. Huge. What does that mean for marketers? Nothing. That's just a trend of just entertaining
satisfying
content
video. Yeah.
But like this next couple of years of AI content is going to make a few marketers' careers. You have to remember, back in the social days, back in the days when Facebook was just getting started, we were all figuring out what to post. Eventually, we kind of figured it out. Like, oh, we can teach people, and if we just add a little bit of entertainment factor or add a good hook in the beginning,
Yeah.
like we can educate people in mass, and some of them will want to buy from us. So, like that eventually we need to start thinking like, okay, what can we now do with AI video that's not just making what we were doing better or faster, but is a whole different approach. Some marketers are going to freaking run wild with that over the next year. It could be you. You just have to do enough experiments and play and see what's trending and try and try and try. I'm trying myself. I'm trying to throw characters in there. Unfortunately, I have this character called 404. If you haven't seen him like on the marketing already, it's like he's the kind of the TV head body character. It struggles with him though because it has to animate his face and the scene around him, and it struggles to do both at the same time. Because it's essentially two different things you have to think about. There's two screens. There's the screen and the screen of his face.
Oh,
Then
geez.
Sora and VO3 struggle with that character. I'm like, crap. It does better with like simple characters like a bunny or a person or something like that. I'm coming up with something not totally original, but not as much training data about that one. In other words, one quick promo is if you've ever started thinking about starting a podcast like this one, like the AI Driven Marketer, I'm launching or have just launched a program.
I'm watching the Pikachu viral video.
Bro, I'm trying to pitch my podcast program.
Sorry.
Talking about Pikachu. If you want to make Pikachu videos, no. If you want to start a podcast because you're a boutique agency owner, solopreneur, freelancer, or somebody who sells with your expertise, I think and I believe that starting a video first podcast is the best way to sell your expertise. Because in an age where AI is going to become more numerous when it comes to content, people are going to be looking for authenticity. People are going to be looking for real stories from real people with real convictions they can trust. And I think we need more of these people in every single industry. I think we even need more people talking about AI and starting more AI podcasts to introduce concepts from shows like this one from the AI Driven Marketer into whole new spheres for health, for executives, for just freelancers, just fill in the blank. Everybody needs to be introduced to AI. Your voice and story need to be heard. That's why I started the solo podcast challenge. The next one starts in November. I do them as cohorts, and you put some money down and you win it all back. You don't even win it. You just get it all back once you complete the daily challenge. It's like a 30-minute task because most people never make it to episode 7. So we complete 7 episodes over 21 days, broken down into baby steps. And I walk you through step by step how to actually launch a podcast driven by AI, but as authentically your stories. If you want to get in on that, go to solopodcastchallenge.com. We launch the next cohort November 1st. So check it out. Moving on, though, to the viral post. I forgot what I put. Oh, that's where you got the Pikachu thing. One of the crazy things that I saw that was probably my favorite was that there was something about Sora before. Like if you had never gone to Sora, but back when it was Sora 1, my kids use it all the time to make images of fan fiction things and cars and whatever. They use it all the time. And I noticed even there, like it wasn't a social network where you can comment, but you could like posts and it would like rank them up. So I don't let them on social media. It's like the first social network they were on was on Sora. And I noticed there's this propensity for Pikachu on there. Lots of people just making Pikachu images because Nintendo hadn't gotten to it yet. It wasn't as big as Sora 2 now is, even though it's only been out a few days. So that culture, of course, carried over into Sora 2, and people just started going nuts with Pikachu. It's like Sora's favorite character, at least that culture. Whoever is spending a lot of time on Sora, they love Pikachu. And they started putting Pikachu into every movie. Saving Private Ryan, The Godfather. I saw one where it was like, what was that musical? La La Land, and they were dancing under the moonlight to Pikachus. It is hilarious. I'll link to it in the show notes. You have to watch it. It's cute. It's funny. Why I think it's important for marketers is because, again, we now have this creative tool where we can make anything. What does that now make possible for you and your content? We need to start thinking outside the box, outside of what we were doing, and start coming up with whole new ways to get our message and our product and our market out there. not only on Sora, but like taking Sora-like tools and putting them everywhere. There needs to be a lot of experimentation over the next year. I think we need to start doing it too. What do you think of the Pikachu videos?
Seeing Pikachu hit the beaches of Normandy on D-Day, I mean, that's pretty awesome.
You're like, there's a mashup I never thought I wanted to see, but absolutely do.
Pikachu killing Nazis? I'm like, this is wild. Sorry, you can't say kill. Unaliving Nazis? Amazing. Oh, it's wild.
Is that the pod?
It's Pikachu's pod now.